Well, the main thing that I like about Paris is the fact that it's a very mixed culture, and people tend to be more open. I think it's the ideal place to be able to present and materialize ideas that are somewhat out of the box of the norm. It's a place where I think it's possible to be able to engage and speak to people that work in certain ways at certain levels, that have certain perspectives on art, on music, dance, and film, and many other things. But I think maybe most of all, I think is the fact that I can be involved in the large body of creative thinkers that have come from the city and that have stayed here. So I'm really happy to be here. Rave. Well, it's I mean, for me, I mean, I had been around before the term arose, and so I guess the definition of it and what it means is something that kind of represents many people with the same interests, like-minded people coming together, generally for one reason. And of course, it's been changed and modified and expanded over the years. But I think the roots of the history of Rave is more than just a large body of people coming together. It was always really used as a movement, as a symbol of movement, as a barometer as to how many people feel a certain way about a particular thing. And I watched it spread all around Europe and into the United States and into Asia, and I still think it pretty much holds the original ideas of why so many people are coming together. Of course, for the music, but it's also the idea. It's really very deeply beneath it is an indication of a certain type of social movement. This idea of tens of thousands of people coming together in one place for one reason will reveal itself and play itself out more as we move on and we become older and more mature and more in touch with what's happening in the world. The idea of structuring a festival, an event based on the Four Seasons is quite interesting. It's something that is very important in our modern society. That really shapes the world. It shaped culture. It shaped the degree in which we live, and to use this as a template for a festival, I think is quite unique. The part in which I'm involved in is the part in the autumn, which I think symbolically kind of represents this idea of a preparation for winter, I suppose. The cycling of a time frame where there's preparation. So I'm quite happy to be in that position, in that slot. When I see the people close their eyes and attempt to try to detach themselves from their surrounding, there is when I generally feel that the people are closer to reaching this point where they want to be. And I think that we are a species of people that learn by our mistakes. If we don't take the advantage to be able to make things better, to enhance the situation in the world in which we're living in, I think we're missing the whole point of why we're using music and why we're creating it to reach so many people, to have this dialogue of feeling more free and feeling more connected to the lives that we're living in, the people that we're living around. My feeling about what we're doing is kind of mixed. I think that it's great that we have the ability and the opportunities to be able to get together to party for our love of music. But I think that sometimes we fall short and we sometimes miss what the music is really trying to say, where it's really trying to take us mentally, I think. And I also very much wonder why, for the reasons, are we dancing so much? What exactly are we dancing towards? Why are we coming together for reasons beyond the idea of a party? And I also had thoughts about the idea that perhaps maybe we should begin. Maybe it's time, after so many decades, that we should begin to try to be more connected to the world in which we're living. Maybe we should begin to create reasons of why we're dancing and having such a great time, while at the same time people in other parts of the world are not fortunate enough to be in this situation. And so this idea that I've been thinking about of trying to connect my art form in this genre to what's happening in this time could somehow branch off and become could put electronic music in a position where it's more needed than just for recreational, for leisure, that it becomes something that people really depend on, that this process of someone producing music, playing music, people digesting it, becomes a very useful tool for helping people that are not able to be in that situation. After so many decades, it's about time that we can use all this effort to be more strategic in the idea of expanding not just the body, but also the minds, and then connecting to people's lives.